Good morning to you and welcome to Penn Vicarage on this Thursday morning. Good to see you. Hope you've had a lovely day so far and looking forward very much to getting stuck into the book of Proverbs this morning. Great to see you this morning and thank you for being with us today. And friends, we are in Proverbs and today we're in chapter 20. So let's get stuck in. Here goes Proverbs and chapter 20. Wine is a mocker, strong drink a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. The dread anger of a king is like the growling of a lion. Anyone who provokes him to anger forfeits life itself. It's honourable to refrain from strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. The lazy person does not plough in season. Harvest comes and there's nothing to be found. The purposes of the human mind are like a deep water, but the intelligent will draw them out. Many proclaim themselves loyal, but who can find one worthy of trust? The righteous walk in integrity. Happy are the children who follow them. A king who sits on the throne of judgment winnows all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I've made my heart clean, I am pure from my sin? Divers weights and divers measures are both alike an abomination to the Lord. Even children make themselves known by their acts, by whether what they do is pure and right. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord has made them both. Do not love sleep, or else you will come to poverty. Open your eyes, and you'll have plenty of bread. Bad, bad, says the buyer, then goes away and boasts. There's gold and abundance of costly stone, but the lips informed by knowledge are a precious jewel. Take the garment of one who has given surety for a stranger. Seize the pledge given as surety for foreigners. Bread gained by deceit is sweet, but afterward the mouth will be full of gravel. Plans are established by taking advice, wage war by following wise guidance. A gossip reveals secrets, therefore do not associate with a babbler. If you curse father or mother, your lamp will go out in uttermost darkness. An estate quickly acquired in the beginning will not be blessed in the end. Do not say, I will repay evil. Wait for the Lord, and he will help you. Differing weights are an abomination to the Lord. False scales are not good. All our steps are ordered by the Lord. How then can we understand our own ways? It's a snare for one to say rashly, it is holy, and begin to reflect only after making a vow. A wise king winnows the wicked and drives the wheel over them. The human spirit is the lamp of the Lord, searching every innermost part. Loyalty and faithfulness preserve the king, and his throne is upheld by righteousness. The glory of youths is their strength, but the beauty of the aged is their grey hair. Blows that wound cleanse away evil, beatings make clean the innermost parts. And this is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Okay, as always, lots in this remarkable chapter. There are firstly some themes which, as I say, run through the book of Proverbs again and again and again, and you just see them, like I say, I would say like a message to the middle of a stick of rock. Firstly, the importance of honesty and integrity, about doing things with justice. So, verse 7, the righteous walk in integrity, happy are the children who follow them. Verse 10 says, diverse weights and diverse measures are both alike an abomination to the Lord. And likewise in verse 23 it says, differing weights are an abomination to the Lord, and false scales are not good. So again, this theme here about doing things honestly and consistently, and acting honestly, basically. And that theme runs through the book of Proverbs again and again and again. The importance of being fair, being accurate, giving proper money for proper amounts of, fairness in dealings, that sort of. So that kind of thing comes through again and again and again. Another one is laziness, which comes through in verse 8. Verse 4. What's verse 4 say? Yeah. A lazy person does not plough in the season. Harvest comes and there's nothing to be found. And in verse 13 as well. Do not sleep, or else you will come to poverty. Open your eyes, you'll have plenty of bread. There's a warning here against laziness. There's also, again, the importance of accepting advice. Verse 18, plans are established by taking advice. Wage war by following wise guidance. So again, the importance of being teachable, about being prepared to learn, about asking around and taking the advice of other people, and not just being proud. And I mean, we need to be stubborn sometimes, but actually the importance of being prepared to listen to advice as well. So various themes here which come through again and again through Proverbs. The importance, as I say, of honesty and integrity, the importance of avoiding laziness, of working hard, and the importance of accepting advice too. But there are other things as well which come through, which is slightly more interesting in this chapter. Not interesting, but sort of unique to this chapter as well. Firstly, the importance of keeping your temper as much as you can. Verse 3, it's honourable to refrain from strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. I mean, rows do happen sometimes, and sometimes we need to stand up for what's right, and anger is sometimes the right advice, but it shouldn't be something we come to quickly. Avoid being quick-tempered. As I say, sometimes things have to be said, absolutely right, but it's the importance we're not quick to anger. That we try and keep our temper as much as we can. Therefore, we can speak rationally and sensibly, and the anger doesn't overwhelm what we're actually trying to say. So, verse 3 here is talks about the importance of refraining from strife and not being quick-tempered. That's one. Then in verse 9, you might say the importance of salvation by faith. It's an interesting verse here. Who can say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure from my sin? I think what this is saying here is that, try as we might, we cannot set ourselves free from sin. We can make as many New Year's resolutions as we like. We can try and make ourselves holy. I've tried it, and it can't be done, my friends. We actually depend on God for this. If we're going to live a righteous life, the faith, it can only come through faith in God through Jesus Christ. And he says here, who can say, I've made my heart clean, I am pure from my sin? You can't do it yourself. We cannot make ourselves pure, but we need to look to God, and in God's strength, God can free us from sin. So there's hints here about salvation by faith, about being right before God through the power of God. That's the next thing. Verse 17, interesting one as well. Bread gained by deceit is sweet, but afterward the mouth will be full of gravel. So, people that gain things dishonestly, it may look good in the short term, bread gained by deceit is sweet, it may feel good in the short term, but afterwards, the mouth full of gravel, you might say it leaves a bitter taste in the mouth. So people can gain things by deceit, but actually it leaves bad in the end. I remember once at a previous golf club, I actually was winning. I put in a winning card. But I realised when I got home that I'd done something that wasn't quite right. So I dogged myself in and was duly disqualified from the competition. But had I won, and then it come out later that I hadn't done things correctly, and I would always have felt bad about it. And I'm glad in a sense I was honest, even if it meant not winning the competition. Because bread gained by deceit is sweet, but afterwards the mouth will be full of gravel, and it wouldn't have won it right too. Then in verse 19, we have a gossip reveals secrets, therefore do not associate with a babbler. We all know people who are indiscreet, so it's about being careful who you give your secrets to. I remember someone was described once as that their version of confidentiality is just you only tell one person at a time, And so we all know who the gossips can be, and it's about just being careful with your secrets and so on, who you give your secrets to. Then in verse 20, finally in verse 22, do not say, I will repay evil. Wait for the Lord, and he will help you. And again, this is important, the importance of not envying people who are getting ahead by bad ways. It's about not looking for revenge as such. It's about handing over our hurts and our pains to God. I will repay. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. About the importance of when we're hurt, actually handing those hurts over to God and let God deal with them. So it's about the importance of not taking revenge, about the importance of trusting God and allowing God to deal with it, handing over the hurts, handing over those feelings to God. And we all have them, but it's about handing them over to God. Wait for the Lord, and he will help you, says verse 22 here. So lots, again, in this chapter, some common themes that we have again and again, things like honesty and integrity, things like avoiding laziness, and about the importance of accepting advice. Other things in here as well, though, about the importance of not being quick-tempered. The anger is sometimes the right response, but actually about not being quick-tempered. Then salvation by faith alone, that we cannot make ourselves righteous, but we can only do it through the power of God. Verse 17, about things gained dishonesty may feel good in the short term, but in the long term they leave a bitter taste in the mouth. But being careful to watch out. We all know who the gossips are, that we don't give our secrets to the wrong people. And finally, about the importance of not, in verse 22, of not seeking revenge, about handing over our hurts and pains to God and letting God deal with them. Friends, that's Proverbs in chapter 20. I hope you found it helpful. Do read it again. There's lots in here. God bless you. Thanks for watching. More tomorrow. And do please